Okay, hey everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Mail It In podcast. This is Chris and Clayton, and we're glad you're joining us. And for this kind of introductory episode that we have, we're just going to talk first a little bit about what we plan to talk about, and then a little bit about ourselves. So take it away.
So I am the son of him, and
I am his dad.
so no, pretty much what we're going to be talking about throughout our podcasts of what we want to do is talking sports, mainly Michigan sports, some of our local stuff around the Grand Rapids area, and then also kind of doing some food reviews. We thought that might be fun, so that's kind of what we'll be going on, talking about. Obviously he has stories, I have stories about my experience through sports, so we'll kind of mix that in with the information that are kind of the topics that we do. So
Right, and we kind of just talk about, that's mainly it, but we will go off on tangents sometimes and talk about off topics and other things that are happening, things we like. We talk about whatever we want, really, but that's just the guideline for it. So, yeah, it should be exciting. We'll see once what happens and where it goes. As far as probably just talk a little bit about our background really quick, try to keep it interesting and brief. I played sports back in the late 80s, mainly, and I played high school football and baseball, and I have coached since then. I've coached football at every level pretty much, and coached baseball and lacrosse. Also,
he was too short to go any further for college football.
Yeah,
So.
I probably should have tried to play college ball at one of the small schools, but that's another
also
story.
Didn't have a school back then, so
That's another story, and how different things were back then to now. That's another future topic. So, Clayton, what do you got?
I play hockey and baseball, or used to, which is again kind of another story that we'll talk about. But I played hockey for all my life, and then kind of decided it wasn't for me. But again, we'll talk about that more in the next further episodes, because it's kind of a cliffhanger in terms of what I'm doing right now and what I kind of want to do in sports. So, but yeah, that was kind of an introduction to our podcast.
Well, wait a second, too. We should kind of say what we're into a little bit, who we like, that kind of thing, just to like make sure any biases are discussed. So, what about hockey? What do we?
Hockey, we're Red Wings fans, obviously.
And a little bit of Seattle Kraken fan.
And then for college, we root for Notre Dame, all Notre Dame sports. Also some Michigan State. We hate Michigan. We hate Ohio State. So I'm sure.
We don't hate Michigan.
I hate Michigan, so my bias will be in there with Michigan and Ohio State. But
I respect Michigan and Michigan State. I like to see all of them play well because it's good for our area.
We can both agree that we hate Ohio State with a passion. So,
we'll talk about that at a little later date. But as far as like NBA, I haven't really watched the NBA much since probably the mid 2000s. I was kind of into it, in the 80s and 90s, quite a bit different type of sport than it is now. But we may, if we talk about NBA or everyone wants us to talk about that, we might have to bring in some experts.
We tried to get into the kind of watching NBA. We watched the All-Star game, and that was a complete joke. The All-Star game that went on a couple days ago, that was, I don't know why you would pay money to go watch a bunch of players that get paid millions and millions of dollars sit around and kind of just goof off. That's, to me, that wouldn't be worth my time at all. But for some people, I guess do as you wish.
But we may bring in the Pistons and talk a little bit about them. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge. Like I said, I know some of the players. I know 0 players on their team. So we'll get into that maybe a little bit. We'll talk Tigers, and certainly
Favorite
talk.
teams are Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. And then quickly football. I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan. And then he's kind of a roamer. He doesn't
I don't really
team.
I don't really have a team. I grew up when I was really young watching the Cowboys with Roger Staubach and all them. Then I kind of moved over to watching Oakland and Los Angeles Raiders, and then kind of realized that franchise is horrifically managed and terrible from the inside out. So I kind of just
we can talk
I'm
about
kind of
that
just
later
a general
on.
fan
This
now.
was
we're just
kind of an introduction.
but we're telling people kind of who we like and that sort of thing. And as far as college, like we talked about already, I'm a big college football fan. I like watching college football at every level. Even local levels, although we don't go to Grand Valley games or some of the D2, but I really would like to watch some of that, especially since we know some of the guys that are going to be playing at that level. That would be great. We live in Caledonia, so that's probably going to be something we touch on a little too here and there, or we'll have like a section where we talk about that if that's not something that you're interested in. But OK Red, West Side, high school sports, and hey, we're open to whatever. If some people say we need to talk about like wrestling or equestrian or snow skiing or something, hey, we're up for it. Maybe we'll have to bring somebody else in that can educate us or help us figure it out or whatever. But we'll see what happens and where it goes, I guess.
I did see the baseball coach at the gym, and he asked me what I was doing.
Okay.
Because I was a hockey, but anyways.
Yeah. So we'll just so that's a little bit about us and why we call this thing Mail It In. We'll reveal that, I guess, as we go, but that's going to be a future episode and explanation, I guess. So
all right, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Tune in for more podcasts. See ya.